Good morning, guys. Just want to talk to y'all a little bit. I'm not even sure how to start this off or where to go with it. It's kind of gone through my head quite a few times. So I'll just kind of wing it as it goes. Something I'm passionate about, something that actually makes it so that I kind of want to use colorful language. Yeah, sometimes when I think about it, I do want to. Let me shut this window real quick. So, yeah, it's okay. Should have had my thoughts already together, but so yeah, okay. You know, just a random thought. Talk about this a lot. Uh, I think. I think. I think we're so inundated with the media and around how the way we think life is. We can't see past our own noses. We can't see past our past. We can't see what's really good for us. We don't actually even know how good can be until we're actually there. And it's true. I want to tell you and I want to guarantee you that right now you are caught in what I would consider like the Matrix. You don't know that, but that's what you're caught into. What do I mean by that? If you've ever seen the Matrix, you have a bunch of tubes tied up to you. Mentally, you're somewhere else. You're like laying on a table, and you have the illusion that you have freedom, and you have the illusion that you can make choices. And really, what has happened to you is that you've been inundated, brainwashed with so much false information because they just keep repeating it, and you think that it's the truth, and you can't see the truth for what the truth really is. You just can't. And the way you think that your way to health is not the way to health. You've been lied to. It is. I mean, you've been lied to, and you don't even know that you're sick. What you do is, and it's not you, but it is you, and you need to really take this seriously, because when you have absolutely no energy, when you're depressed, when you have loss of hope, when you don't think that there's going to be a change, when you think that when you're starting to lose your memory and you're getting older, you just think that that's the way that it is, and you don't even question that. You're just like, well, you know, I'm getting older, and that's what you're thinking. No one comes to you and says, hey, you know what, let's just go further than that. Okay, so you're starting to lose your memory. All of a sudden, everybody that's 40 years old is on an average of 4 pills. Well, that's just the way it is. It's normal. By 50, I'll be on 5 or 6. And you know, just keep on going up there. Okay? Your neighbor just died at 60 from a brain aneurysm, a heart attack. Well, there you go. I mean, well, you know, he wasn't too good to begin with. Well, I'm hoping I got a good while. I was hoping. The real of it is that everybody's living the same lifestyle, and the average number of days you're going to live is not dependent. I mean, it is dependent upon them trying to just keep you alive with the medical industry. But there comes a question as thriving, and there comes a question as personal responsibility. And how can you be personally responsible if you've been brainwashed? You are brainwashed. More than likely, 99% of you, unless you've been plant-based for a long time, 99% of you have been brainwashed over and over and over again because you've been watching the media constantly give you, they keep telling you to eat meat for protein. And it's a complete lie. Now, mind you, you can get protein from meat because the animals ate the vegetables and the grass. All of our protein comes from plants. If you're eating meat for your protein, what you need to think about is its cholesterol and its fat. That's it. You need to get your protein, which is a protein is a big joke. It is a word, it is a joke, it's goobity goobity goobity. Protein, you can't even get the word out of your mind. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to unlearn and relearn what it really is going on. Vitamins and nutrients, that's where your mind needs to be. Now it's forcing you to think, but that's where it needs to be, and you don't have to think hard. Go to the produce aisle. Let me give you an example. So you got a carrot. Oh, carrot don't make me happy like a burger does. Well, no, it doesn't. But this is what a carrot does do. It gives you nutrients. Gives you a lot of nutrients. And you take this carrot. Now you can eat it. I wouldn't suggest it, but why? I'm telling you, eat fruits and vegetables, right? There's your apple. You can probably see it. If you don't want to know what it looks like, there's an apple. So there's an apple. Apple's a fruit. Apple you can mix with vegetables. It's one of the only fruits you can. So here's the thing. Instead of, we're going to juice this. No, juicing is not wasting food. Juicing is saying, I love myself so much, and I'm not going to put my body through having to digest this to get the nutrition out of it. There's no nutrition in the fiber. No, fiber is good. You don't need the fiber. You juice it. When you juice it, I'm actually going to bring some more carrots out in this because I'm going to do 7 pints today. So you juice it, the vitamins and the nutrients come out of the carrots, the celery. Hey, here's some celery right here. All right, and it's going to go into your juice. When you juice it, you're going to drink the juice throughout the day. What happens? That juice, which is the vitamin and the nutrients, they go into the bloodstream, they heal you. Yes, it has protein in it. Yes, you can get enough protein because you're still thinking about protein. You're still thinking about a word that should have absolutely nothing to do with your vocabulary. Protein is just like saying you should eat food. Just substitute the word protein for food, and all food has it. You've got to unblank your minds. You've been just the information you've gotten is toxic, it is wrong. Dairy has no benefits, none. There are studies that link dairy to causing type 1 diabetes in kids. Definitely, on all ages, dairy and meat, because of the cholesterol and the processed saturated the processed saturated fats that you're going to get from the animals and the liquid meat in the dairy. That's what's causing your type 2 diabetes. You want to stop your type 2 diabetes, you stop eating what's causing it. Now, but I'm still going to have it. Well, that's right. So what you have to do is you have to eat real food. And real food is going to be your vegetables, it's going to be, it's going to be your beans, your legumes, your nuts, your seeds. When you really get into it, please look at some of the previous videos. Step 1 is always, and I got to tell you, I have told people step 1 so many times. And those that finally listen to it, now they're not listening to me, well, what happens is something clicks over. And when that clicks over, and they go, you know what, it does make sense now that I've thought about it for like a month or 2, or if I've listened to it for a year, and they're like, man, I got nothing to lose, you know? I'm going to try it. So check it out. Here you go. Drink your 2 gallons of water. Put your name, put your date on it. Not that hard, is it? But the good thing is that when you do it, you're going to feel great. What is this? It's like over 7 pounds. 7 pounds of water. A piece. That's 14 pounds. 14 pounds of water, or you can refer to it as 2 gallons. What it's going to do is it goes into your body and it cleans you out at the molecular level. If you're not drinking water and you're drinking some soda, what you're doing is you're putting corn syrup in your body so we can feed the inflammation. Why are you going to do that? If you're going for your health, you're not. You're not going to even think about picking up a soda. Not at this point in the game. What you want to do is you want to put in something healthy, something pure. Do your 2 gallons a day. It's not that hard. It is hard mind-wise to get your mind wrapped around it. I showed somebody a gallon of water. This is one, this is a little bit dry. But if you show somebody a gallon of water, they're like, I can't drink all that. Really? because you're drinking at least a gallon of tea, or you're drinking a half a gallon of tea, you're drinking several sodas, you're drinking an energy drink, which is pure horrible for your health. And the reason why you're doing it is because you've seen the commercials, you want the instant rush, and you don't know what kind of rush that you can get from water. You don't know what kind of, you're not thinking clear and you're depressed because you're not eating healthy. If you want something that's going to give you an energy rush, you're going to be eating something like grapes. Grapes give you an energy rush. Actually, my grandpa used to eat grapes whenever we were traveling long distance to stay awake. You eat grapes before a workout, that grape juice goes directly to your bloodstream. That's what juicing's about. It's about giving you real vitamins and nutrients. Stop thinking of it like, oh, it's just juice. The juice is life. The juice is full of nutrients and vitamins to heal your body, to reverse that type 2 diabetes. Mind you, none of this is medical advice that I'm giving. It should just be considered common sense advice. It should be advice saying, love yourself. Wake the blank up. Love yourself. Jump into it. Watch the videos. Watch other plant-based people. I talked to a guy yesterday on the phone. He was in Hawaii and he met John M. McDougall. Now, I'm thinking this guy has to be pretty darn healthy. And I mentioned to him, he mentioned to me a few different diets that he's done in the past. That he has done in the past. And now this man has type 2 diabetes. Because he's so intellectual that he wants to take, I guess, decades to think about the information John M. McDougall gave him. And his highlight was, I shook his hand. Well, that's great. It probably would have benefited you more if you just said, screw shaking his hand and maybe taking some of the knowledge that John was giving him at that seminar. But he didn't. Or maybe he did a little bit. But obviously he didn't. Otherwise, 99.9% of the time, he's not going to have type 2 diabetes. He didn't have it then. So I mean, I'm glad he got to meet him, but was it all for null? Maybe. But maybe he'll change. I don't know. He sounded like a gentleman that had met him 15 years ago. So, he and I talked, he asked me questions, and yeah, the guy wasn't too up to speed. I don't want to talk about him much more, but he didn't even know about juicing. He didn't know what juicing does, vitamins and nutrients. He and I talked for a little bit. He and I talked about, here's the thing. You can plant a seed with 10,000 people. And I've kind of said this. If you can get, oh my gosh. I've talked to a lot of people that are plant-based, that have the information. Usually, see, here's the thing. If you're listening to this video, I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you do. I hope in one of my videos I get you to start thinking. I get you to start thinking that I'm just an average guy. You can tell by looking at me, I'm just an average guy. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. But, oh my gosh. So sometimes I'm just, it's like, if you want a new lease on life, if you want to not be depressed, if you do not want to hurt, this stuff that the doctor tells you is arthritis, it's just all part of the programming. They call it arthritis. They don't tell you it's inflammation that you can easily get rid of. It's inflammation, folks. Drink your freaking water, dude. Just drink your water. Drink your water. Juice your juice in the morning. It's not that hard. It's consistency. We got back from the park. We took the dogs this morning. We went on a 45-minute walk. I'll tell you, my Fitbit. Yeah, you need to get a Fitbit or something like that. So you need to keep up with your steps. You need to be answerable to yourself. You need to have goals. Why do you need these things? Because of the 5-headed dragon. I'm not saying be fearful. I am saying be in control. Take back control of your health. Tell society to, tell all these people that have brainwashed you into thinking you have to eat meat. Even after, when you hear these words, your brain automatically comes in and it kills it. It kills it dead. I'm probably wasting my voice. I'm probably wasting my time right now. Because when I say protein is a joke, you're like, wait, I don't want to accept that. All beef, if men eat beef, or beef, it's blah, 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 blah. Or milk, it does a body good. Milk doesn't do a body good. Milk does a body good in one little, milk does the body good for the milk industry. So they can sell you tons of milk, so you can buy gallons of it for your kids, so they can get osteoporosis because it leaches the calcium out of the bones. And it's leaching the calcium out of the bones so that it can bring the acidity down in your body. That's the truth. The truth is different than what you've been told. No one makes money on you drinking water. Now, we could talk about water. We could talk about the fact we should only drink distilled water. This is something you need to look up. I'm going to tell you more. But order the book by George Malcolmus. Look it up. If you care nothing about your health, don't look it up. If you care, look it up. If you're not ready to look it up, don't look it up. You know what? You might remember this video a year down the road. And if you do, cool. Because I'm not going to take it off the air. It will be there. So do that. I got to tell you, first and foremost, I don't care if you live or die. Because you are one in a trillion people. Now you are someone I love. And here's the thing, when we live or when we die is all a question, and it's totally up to you in most situations. Most circumstances, most diseases that we have are completely reversible, completely avoidable. Let's talk about the five-headed dragon. Just real quick. I like to refer to it as the five-headed dragon. Some other people do too. But it is the number 5 killers in our society, caused by brainwashing because we're in a matrix. And because we've been lazy down and dumbed down so far, so much, that the only thing we can do is instant gratification. Not the grapes. Grapes are good for you. But instant gratification being, I don't know, like a candy bar. Like, I can't drink a gallon of water, I want a soda. We've been dumbed down, we've been brainwashed. We've been brainwashed into thinking that we need to eat meat. We've been brainwashed into dairy. As a society, we've been so brainwashed that 6% of what we eat is produce, in the produce departments. It's fruits and vegetables. And you would think that that would be somewhat good, except for the fact that when you take that 3% of that 6% is French fries. Deep fried in grease. No, we're not supposed to eat any oils, folks. No oils. Oil is a man-made poison. Period. Oil will clot your arteries. Getting back to the five-headed dragon. Heart disease, number 1 killer in the United States. Once you have one heart attack, it's too late, you're dead. Play those numbers if you want to. Take the dice, throw them. Good luck. If you live and you go see a doctor, they're not going to tell you how to heal yourself. What they're going to tell you is how to treat your very sick body that you've been told is a healthy way of eating, which now you realize has caused you to be really, really sick, and you really haven't even realized it. The only thing you realize is that you're going to be put on medication. You might have to go through surgery. You're not going to change your lifestyle, and you're going to end up with another heart attack. You're going to end up with stents. You're going to end up with stents that are more like a placebo. And you might have 50 stents. I mean, you might go that route. Stents are like $1 trillion industry right now. Do you think they're going to come out and they're going to give the real information on stents? The answer is no. So, again, the five-headed dragon, heart disease, you've got prostate cancer. Come on. Prostate and breast cancer are the second two. So, kind of interesting there, isn't it? Yeah, it's caused by diet. It's caused by meat. It's caused by dairy. Get rid of the gluten. Get rid of it. I don't care what one school of thought says compared to another school. Do your research on it and figure out you've just been you just had a smoke job. I mean, it's just blowing smoke, folks. Get rid of it. But dairy does, according to this study, they put out so much confusion. It's amazing. They sell doubts. It's no different than, I mean, don't be part of the crowd anymore. Don't just go along with the herd. Don't just stop. Just because there's a 1% chance that dairy is good for you, why the frick would you be eating dairy? Why? If there's a question about it, stop eating it. It's that simple. Well, there's a question about cigarettes because they make you feel comfortable. What? Okay, so you've been told processed meat causes cancer, a type 1 carcinogen by the World Health Organization. I don't know why the United States hasn't told you that. Maybe we should probably figure that out sometime. I mean, who cares? I couldn't care about the food pyramid. If you think the food pyramid has anything about juicing in it, you already know it doesn't. It does not. Nobody is paying our government to push vegetables down your throat. Nope. They just don't leave them out because common sense kind of says you probably shouldn't. It's going to be probably too obvious that you're being led by just special interest groups. Anyway, you got your recapping, I guess. So you got your heart disease, you got your prostate cancer, your breast cancer. These three are completely avoidable in most situations, or curable. Reversible is what I mean. Whatever word you want to use in there. Again, not medical advice, blah, blah, blah. Look up the research, folks. Okay, the fourth one, that one is going to be, what is it? It's type 2 diabetes. There's a, okay, so I'm in Tennessee. There's a place in Nashville that guarantees you, hey, come to us. We're going to magically fix you. And guess what? They can. Are they going to do anything special? No. They're going to give you supplements, some BS. And if your type 2 diabetes isn't gone, they're going to reimburse you your $5,000. I say take $1,000, put it towards juicing for, or take $3,000. Why not? This is, we're talking about your life here. We're talking about you feeling great. We're talking about you reversing diseases. We're talking about you avoiding disease in the future. We're talking about avoiding that cancer that your body takes 10 years to build up. 10 years before they even know you have cancer. Okay? And when you start eating right, that it gets into your body. The nutrients and the vitamins and it starts repairing the body. And in the repair process, not only is your brain starting to think more clearly, slowly, but more clearly. Don't forget step 1, the water. You've got to drink your water, 1 to 3 gallons a day. Not brain science, folks. It's not hard. You're lazy. Long and the short of it, you're lazy. You've been brainwashed. You're caught in the matrix. The last one after type 2 diabetes, which is completely reversible. I can't say 100%, 99.9%. Your last disease is going to be obesity. If you're caught in those 5, if you're caught in 1 or 2 of them, they can all be somewhat linked together. So the good news is this: you're the victim. We all like to be victims. I'm a victim in a lot of stuff. I'm still a victim. My memory wasn't that great. I was close to 300 pounds at one point. I couldn't ride my bike the way I wanted to, at all. I remember one time, I do remember this, it was 10 years ago, and I was about to get on my bike. I went and bought a bike, and I thought, man, can I still ride a bike? It was, it's a dirt bike, it's in my office, but I was like, can I still ride a bike? I don't know. And then I felt embarrassed getting on a bike. If you're at that point, you know what I'm talking about. What you do is you get on the frickin' bike. You get on it, you start feeling comfortable on it, and you ride it. You start eating right. There are so many tips that you can find out. One of the biggest ones, if you start juicing like this, take a lemon, squeeze it, Take apple cider vinegar, put it into a shot glass. Actually, take the whole lemon juice, and then you're going to take a shot glass of apple cider vinegar once to 3 times, twice a day. Take your apple cider vinegar before you go to bed. Mix it with water. What does this do? It fights inflammation, that crap you call arthritis, those pains that you have in your joints, in your back, in your shoulders. You've been eating crap for what, 30, 40 years? You've been eating oil that's clogging up your arteries, that's causing inflammation, that cheeses with the 5 times the casein, which is a cancer causer. You're eating flour, which has gluten in it, which God knows what else is in there. You're eating food that has a shelf life of like 50 years, and you're eating laboratory food, and you're wondering if it's normal for you to eat the way you do. Yeah, it's normal for you to eat the way that you do because you've been putting poison in your body for so long. And there's only one way to get it out, and that's the one, stop eating it completely. If you stop poisoning yourself, I mean, if you take arsenic, you're going to die eventually, right? Theoretically, I mean, I would assume. If you stop eating this poison, you get away from what you have been brainwashed to believe. You're brainwashed to believe that there's some word called protein. If you really want to get to the nitty-gritty of it, these animals that you're eating, they're causing you to age quickly. They're causing you to get the 5 most deadly diseases in the United States. These foods are. Those carrots do not cause these 5 diseases. You are addicted to food. You have an addiction for food. You have societal pressure to go out to eat with people that you know. Your joy and your entertainment is through food. You get happy when you start thinking about what you're going to eat for lunch. What I'm saying is that if you change your laser view, your scope, if you start to change that and you start to ask yourself, how can I get what can I have laser focus on? What can I have complete control on in my life? This is going bad in my life. I don't have time to eat healthy. My job sucks. I eat to make myself happy. I'm depressed financially, but I have control over eating crap. Someone's really sick, so I don't have time to think about eating healthy. My schedule's way too busy. I'm going to school. I'm blah, blah, blah. And it's not within me to do it. I just can't do it. It just doesn't interest me. It's just not there for me. Stop talking to me about it. It is right then in that moment in every situation that I just mentioned that eating right is not only right for you right now, it is what you need right now. Our society brainwashes you into thinking that self-love is selfish. You're caught into a matrix of thinking. And if you don't start questioning that you have been brainwashed into what people have been telling you, if you don't start thinking for yourself and break out of it, the first way you do it is by controlling what is at the end of your fork. Mind you, with the deep healing you need, you don't need a fork. You don't need some stupid salad right now. Should you eat salad? Sure, if you want to. I don't eat them. They're disgusting. I don't like salads. Your body has to break down all that stuff. The carrots, the lettuce. Why? Juice it. You need lots of vitamins and nutrients in your body. You've got a lot of healing to do. If you've got 30 pounds to lose, if you have more than that, if you have the inflammation, if you have aches, if you have pains, if you have some disease that you need to reverse, one of those top 5 is probably what you need to be doing is drinking your 2 gallons of water a day. What you also need to do So you need to start juicing, big time. You need to stop worrying about all that. When you put a laser focus in on what you do, so you get up in the morning, you're like, what am I going to do? Do the little bit of exercising that you can. Have your 2 bottles of water. You know what? Let's do a visual real quick. I mean, I've done this visual many times, but why not? It can't be any worse. Can't be too written to me. Yeah, sure. So you put today's date on here. What's the date today? Thank you, Google. Okay, so August the 29th. So step number 1 in the day, grab a gallon of water. Put your frickin' name on it. Is it that hard? No. But the thing is that love yourself. Love yourself enough to do it and make it a priority. That's step number 1. Then drink it during the day. When you're done with it, grab your second gallon. Yep, this one's empty. Anyway, grab your second gallon, whatever. So, here you go. There's August 28th. I drank it. And why did I drink it? Was it wrong for me to love myself so that I stay well by drinking it? I don't think so. No, I think it's called personal responsibility. It's called something that most people are missing in their lives. You might be responsible for lots of things, but if you can't first take care of you, how can you take care of other people? And if you don't have it in you to take care of somebody else, take care of somebody else health-wise. Juice for them. Because when you juice for them, when you're providing lots of pints of juice for them, what's going to happen is that that's going to be available for you. Juice twice as much. Spend your 2 hours a day. Get your IQ back. Because your brain is clogged up, just like your arteries. You're depressed because you're not drinking enough water. I think I've gone on a big enough tirade, but here's the thing. When it comes to your health, what else are you doing? What else are you doing and not doing? What else are you just putting on the shelf? As I said, love yourself. You know, that's one of the biggest lessons I had to learn. Love yourself. It's not a bad thing to love yourself. It's actually a good thing to realize that society's lied to you. They lied to you about protein. They're having you eat the wrong foods. They tell you olive oil is healthy for you. Olive oil is not healthy for you. They do so many more things. Like they don't tell you, I use this visual, this is pretty much the only bad thing I have in my house. They don't tell you, hey, they say peanut butter. You know, peanut butter, it's got protein. Peanuts, protein. Peanuts. Nobody takes the time to say, hey guy, don't eat peanut butter that comes in a jar. You're like, why? I mean, I made a video on making peanut butter, you know, like real peanut butter, but look at the videos. I mean, it's in there. You know, I mean, I'd love for you to check it out, okay? So, we're looking at peanut butter. What palm oil? I don't care if it says vegetable oil, olive oil, I mean, walnut oil. Walnut oil is good for one thing, but it has nothing to do with putting it actually in your body. No. My point is, don't eat something with oil in it that's going to clog your arteries and cause heart disease and type 2 diabetes, and we're talking about, so what is dementia? It's a good question. If processed food is dumbing you down, which it is, it's clogging your arteries, and you don't think your brain is just not a bunch of veins and arteries and neurons shooting around? Yeah, it's dumbing you down. It's dumbing you down to the point where you can tell a big difference between the time you were 20 to the time you were 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Time to reverse that. You know, it's amazing. You go speak to a doctor about dementia, they don't talk about nutrition, they don't talk about vitamins, they don't even talk about what you're eating. What they talk about is reading. They talk about a frickin' pill. They need to get into that nutrition part. Mind you, all these are opinions, none of these are medical advice. I think most of what I'm saying is common sense. I hope it is. I'm also telling you, you are more than likely 99% of you are caught in the matrix. Only 1 out of 1,000 of you, and you can choose which one you are. If you are that one, what you're going to do is you're going to say this. You know what? What he's saying to me is resonating with me. He's right. Most people aren't going to care enough. He's right. You know, even though I tell myself, and sorry, I got a bug bite. Even though I tell myself, yeah, I need to really change this around. It will be so hard. What about when I go to family functions? What about if somebody invites me out to Mexican food? What am I going to eat there? Am I just going to get a salad? And what am I going to put on that salad? You're right. It's not easy. It's not easy. This isn't about you trying to be a people pleaser. This is about you trying to save your freaking life. This is about you trying to avoid those diseases that 999 other people out of 1,000 are going to get. You're around 4 people. What is it? 1 out of 4 are type 2 diabetic, or is it high blood pressure? Which one is it? What are the stats now? What were they 10 years ago and what are they today? Because the diet's not getting better in the United States, it's getting worse. If we talk to people and we talk to them, when we see them, we don't know what they're on. When you become more hyper aware, you're going to be able to understand that sometimes you can tell what's going on in a person's body. I mean, it is what it is. Until you actually start to talk to somebody, everything is a secret. Everything is a secret for everybody. They hide all their illnesses. That's what they do. And it's between them and their drug pusher doctor. It's between them and the what is it? How many trillions of dollar business with the pharmaceutical industry? Doctor writes a prescription.